welcome to episode 21 of the Sweet Nature Cruise Cast. Hi, I'm Linz, as always I'm joined by Marky.
Hello.
Hello, and today we're talking cruise drinks packages, and we're joined by some very, very, very special expert guests. But first, a little mood music. Wow, I mean, are our special guests actually dressed after that music? It sounds very...
He's suggesting it's like a 70s adult music.
Yeah, I don't know what to...
It was called the Martini Bar.
Okay. Well,
late night Martini Bar.
Well, that's appropriate. We'll take it.
Yeah, well, I thought it worked for today.
Lovely.
Well, as you said in the introduction, today we're talking about cruise drinks packages.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something we've wanted to talk about on the cruise cast since we started it.
Yes, but we needed some very special people to talk about it.
We knew that we couldn't do this without having Gavin and Luke, the cruise monkeys, on with us.
Exactly.
So, hi guys.
Hello, you're right.
Hello. Hello. And the thing is, they're drinking coffee.
Yes.
They're being really good.
Well, it's Monday evening when we're recording. They're obviously sort of saving themselves till the next cruise, whereas we're preparing ourselves. It's just different approaches to how you get ready for the cruise drinks package. What are we drinking?
Tequila and tonic on a Monday night.
Yeah, and that's because we'd run out of both vodka and gin. So, and we had tonic, so it's what else mixes with it, and that seemed to work.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Will you be on tequila shots by the end of it?
By the end of this, I wouldn't be surprised.
There's every chance. You've only got about a third of the drink left. I've still got most of mine. So either my drink will go missing halfway through this, or Lindsay will just vanish just behind, out of sight there, just to get the tequila. So we're going to be talking about cruise drinks packages in a second.
Yes.
Then we've got a cruise confession.
Uh-huh.
And Gavin and Luke can give their thoughts as to where there's stuff forgiveness. And then we're going to take a look at, as usual, 3 of the recent news stories that might be of interest.
Okay.
But shall we kick off with cruise drinks packages?
Yes, please.
I'm going to throw this straight over to Gavin and Luke.
Yes.
Who do you think that cruise drinks packages are aimed at? Are they just aimed at people who drink like a fish?
I wouldn't say so. I'd say they're not aimed at them now. I'd say they don't want... Yeah. Especially with how they're limiting drinks. I don't think they aim them as much to the heavy drinkers. Yeah. I think it's either budget-conscious people, because that's why we think they're really good. Drinks packages are really good because you pay your bill before you go, and that's it. You haven't got that after bill at the end. And maybe this is probably more for you, like from your retail background, is to try and get people to spend more on board, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, because I think it encourages them to go shopping. If they've had a few drinks, they're more likely to make a more impulsive purchase, I suppose, at the shop. Because, they do that in the shops anyway, don't they? Offer you free fizz and things. Yep. Maybe that's the thought, I don't know. Could be.
Yeah, I've never thought about that.
Well, you start from zero again, don't you? If you pay for your drinks package before you step on board, you're at... Yeah. You're not thinking about it.
So that budgeting thing is...
Yeah, but also it probably makes you more open because you're going to spend something.
Yeah.
But it's not going to necessarily be on drinks, but those drinks might encourage you to buy things that you wouldn't necessarily...
I've never thought about that from a retail point of view.
And just think, like, when you're looking at your app or whatever and you're seeing that you've spent this much today, think, I'm not going to spend too much tomorrow then. I won't do the speciality. I won't buy that because I've already spent this much. But as you said, you start from zero. You're looking, I haven't spent anything this cruise. I'll go and buy that dress or that perfume or whatever. I think it encourages people to spend.
Yeah. Or go to the casino and be a bit more risky, let's say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the casino, definitely. Because we've both done that. You've had a couple of like, let's go give it a go. And then I go in there thinking I'm James Bond. And then come out about 10 minutes later having lost the money that I'd set aside.
Yeah.
And go, okay, let's not bother doing that again tonight.
Yes. Which will happen, I'm sure, on our next cruise.
Have we ever been into the casino on Cunard?
Yes.
I know, tangent to what we're talking about.
Yes, we have.
Have we?
Yes, and we lost. And we were dressed up.
That's about right.
So, yeah. But in respect of drinks packages, can we talk about who does the best drinks package as far as we are concerned?
You absolutely can talk about whatever you want.
I'm talking about that.
Well, you've started it. You tell us what you think.
So, Luke and Gavin, am I right in thinking that you don't mind the P&O drinks package because you're quite happy with the wine selection? Now, my favourite wine on there is Kung Fu Girl, and I know you love that as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I drink enough of it because in respect of cocktails, it's enough for me. But in respect of drinks packages, I like the Cunard one, but that's very pricey. Feel it covers everything.
What is it? It still has the same limits. I know we've reviewed this and talked about it before, but you still have that bit that really annoys me, that if you want to have a drink that's more than the package, you don't just pay the difference.
Do you not do that on Cunard?
No.
Is that
it's the full price?
Full price less 20%. And I don't get that. Again, going back to the getting people to spend more money.
I'd like to change my mind, please. I'd like to go with Princess.
I think we'd agree Princess is probably one of the better ones.
Yeah.
The Princess Plus, with the Wi-Fi, the drinks, and your daily gratuities all chucked in, that is good value
for money. Yeah,
yes.
Definitely.
I think the Pinot one is now hitting about £50 a day.
Yeah.
And that's just for that's deluxe package we had last time, isn't it?
I mean, on a basis of drinks package, the best value drinks package we've ever had would probably be MSC, because there's no limit. You haven't got that 15 drink limit. Even though the cocktails might not be as high quality as, say, Pinot or Cunard, definitely, there's still, you can enjoy a lot more of them, and you don't have to worry about it. Because, I know you still get 15 drinks, but in the back of your head, you're still sort of subconscious that there's a count going on somewhere.
Yes.
and they definitely do count.
They definitely do count, yeah.
We maxed out the drinks package a couple of times on Britannia, didn't we?
Wow. What do you think of the Virgin Bar Tab in comparison to a drinks package?
It's not a traditional.
No. But,
you can prepay it.
Yeah. Do you find that you will drink things that you wouldn't normally drink because of the amount of bar tab?
It doesn't really affect our choice in what we drink as such. I mean, I'm not going to go and really splurge, but if there's a cocktail I fancy, I will just drink that cocktail, won't I? I won't go out of my way to spend money, if that makes sense. But it's a tough one, really.
I think the first version we did, we had to buy quite a few bar tabs to kind of cover our drinks, and we worked out what we'd spend.
Yes.
So I don't think it kind of forced us to drink anymore or encouraged us to drink the expensive drinks. The last one had that massive wedge of bar tab for free. Again, it was just about right what we needed anyway.
I don't think my liver could cope with any more by the end of that cruise.
No, because we found we were drinking $39 shots of tequila, which we would not order if we hadn't have been given that bar tab.
No, and the thing with Virgin is they'll often have special deals where you get sort of like $600 bar tab on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And whilst the drinks are probably on the more expensive side on Virgin, they're also not sort of ungenerous with alcohol.
No, they're not. The measures are very good.
Yeah.
The measures are very good.
I don't feel that I need to drink as many as maybe if I want MSC.
Yeah.
The
Same
MSC
with
one feel a
Cunard
bit
as well,
watered
isn't it?
down.
Yeah.
So I think you get more for your money on there. But it's not a traditional drinks package.
No.
Right? Going back to Princesses,
Yes.
Premier and Plus, I'm with everyone else. I think they are by far the best value one. I think they're coming up at about $80 at the moment, maybe even hitting 90. But then when you sort of take into account that you've got specialty dining there, you've got gratuities, you've got Wi-Fi, you've got all the other bits and pieces, those unlimited desserts that no one's ever going to eat unlimited of them. You've got all those extra bits and pieces. And in fact, you also have that Virgin Princess Prizes thing as well.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more than that. Yet when you compare the price for that one on Princess is about the same as Cunard's, just for the drinks. And your limit that you've got on Princess is higher.
Mm-hmm.
Your variety of cocktails is more.
Yeah.
I would say, generally speaking, is more. Certainly that's included in the package. But for me, it's that if you want to have a more expensive drink or a more expensive spirit, you want a fancy brandy after a meal one evening, then you just pay that difference. And
It's the difference,
that
isn't
for
it?
me is and not only that, loads of times you can get a Princess cruise where Princess Plus is thrown in, and then you can get an upgrade at about this time of year, Black Friday or wave season, and you can upgrade to the full sort of premium one for like $5 a night.
Yeah.
So it just becomes, I think when we went on Ruby Princess in June this year,
Mm-hmm.
and we paid $45 per person per night for premium,
That's amazing.
which that's then less than P&O's.
Yeah.
So that's a
Yeah.
bargain, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be crazy not to take it. You're definitely going to spend more than that on things.
Yeah.
And you've touched on value for money there as well. Because a lot of people, when they're thinking about the drinks package, are just thinking about alcohol.
Yes.
Obviously, not all drinks packages are equal, but you'll generally have access to soft drinks, sparkling water, specialty coffees, teas, etc. What of those sort of added on value bits are the bits that you think are really worth it, and which are the ones that you don't care about?
I like a specialty coffee or tea. Sitting in the whichever nice cafe they have, people watching with a nice coffee. That's an activity, probably to nurse a hangover, but just something that I can just. That's a nice activity for me.
Is there any that you're not bothered about?
I mean, I know I'm supposed to drink the nice juices, but I always find them hard work, so I'm not bothered about them. I like a bottle of sparkling water.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, not all drinks packages.
No.
Bottles of sparkling water when you're in the restaurants, which I find weird.
Or they don't want to serve you it. You can't order it at the same time as you order a drink because you're ordering something off the the drinks package, and like, yes, but it's.
Well, that's a great one that you just touched on there. I'll throw it over to Gavin and Luke. What are the things about drinks packages as a whole, as opposed to any individual or very specific ones, that you find annoying? Apart from some have a hard limit.
Not. I'm going to say I really dislike the Royal Caribbean and celebrity drinks packages, but that's kind of been specific, isn't it? Because their
what
prices
is it that you
fluctuate.
don't like about them?
Yeah, because their prices fluctuate so much. That really does annoy me. And we cancelled the cruise because the Icon of the Seas drinks package was coming in at over £100 per person per day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It could drop down. Do you know what I mean? We were watching the prices for a while. It fluctuates so much.
But what I generally don't like...
I hate that they do count the package. I hate that there is a 15 limit cap because, as we were saying, we think it's aimed more for people who just want that peace of mind. You've got that upfront cost and that's it. You're on your holiday. It's that subconscious counting because, admitted, again, like when you do hit your limit, you can buy a drink. We've had that. And as you were saying, I think it should be, you should get something for it. You shouldn't have to... Yeah, it's annoying. And Cunard's another one. Like they do, if you have a large glass of wine, they take 2 of your drinks out of your package, don't they? As well. They'll offer it to you. They'll let you have it. But I suppose that it's an annoyance. But then it's also a nice thing because then I suppose you have had a large glass of wine. Because sometimes it's not always about what you're drinking. It's just having that convenience.
We never hit a 15 on Cunard.
No, not yet.
Oh, we've never been told we have anyway.
I'm not sure how much they actually do sort of clamp down on it. I think they'll use a bit of judgment. If you're worse for wear, they'll go, okay, that's enough. If you look like you're fine, then they're not bothered as much.
We're seeing it more and more now, though, aren't we? We're like P&O used to be very good at we say very good. They didn't really count it. I'm sure they weren't counting them as such, but there seems to be things in place now that are actually tallying it and counting it. Princess have always done it. They were one of the ones.
I think if a drinks package didn't have water on, I'd be very disappointed. Because we do drink. That's one of the things we use a drinks package for quite often is bottles of water. We'll go through probably about 3-4 of them each a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I right in thinking that when Princess just revised their Princess Premier, that they took off the cap on it? I think they made it unlimited drinks now.
I've got a feeling on the Premier they have,
possibly.
Yeah.
Which, that's another thing. They now seem to be doing this. They used to have that, this is the drinks package. It was, say, at the time, $39.95. now they've got that package, or they've now got a deluxe package. And have you noticed how they're all sort of increasing the price and throwing in an extra package? I've noticed that's creeping up.
That's kind of annoying. It would be nice to have one blanket.
Yeah,
alcohol package, soft drinks package, coffee package, and that's it.
Yeah,
simple.
Because it does get very confusing. I mean, if you look at a P&O menu these days, there's like a little key on it, and you've got all these drinks, and it'll tell you if it's in a package or not with just a little symbol, letters by the side of it, don't they? It gets really frustrating and really confusing, and you've got to concentrate, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, you said when we last went on P&O, which was that Ireland, or the last one we went on?
I think so.
Which would have been about 18 months ago, so maybe 2 years now, actually. You felt that you were doing a test every time you went to read a menu to figure out whether you can get it or not.
Also, if I go out without my glasses on as well, it proves even more difficult because I then have to, I'm like this, trying to read. So yeah, it should be easy. You should just know that it's covered and that you don't have to scrutinise it. And yeah, I just want it to be easy and feel that I'm getting good value for money.
Again, without sounding like a princess fanboy, which I'm aware I could sound.
You are a princess fanboy.
They put them into separate things on there, and it'll say like Princess Plus, and it'll have all these ones in there. It'll have Princess Premier, and it'll have all these. So you know which cocktails that you can get. But basically then everything else, it'll be like, yeah, if it's in this section, you can have it. There's not an issue.
Yeah.
So they make it a lot more straightforward.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see all the cruise lines that offer the packages doing that. Because I do think that they've made it, generally speaking, in the industry more complicated now with all these different levels of packages. Especially if you don't go on cruises often, or if it's your first time. It's very, very confusing when you try to work out which one should I take. Should I take one at all?
Yeah.
And then which one do I need to take? And then one of the bits where we get asked it a lot, and I'm sure you guys will get asked it as well, is do you still pay gratuities on top when you've got the drinks package? Because they don't make that clear, because it's included within the packages. When you buy it, you don't pay it, but because you're buying it in advance. But when you buy them at the counter, it's the drinks cost plus the gratuity on top, which generally speaking is about 18%.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people, when you often see that question on Facebook, is the drinks package worth it?
Yeah.
And the response is always, you have to be an alcoholic to make most of it. It's not the case. Because by the time you add on that 15, 18, 20%, depending on the cruise line, it can add up. Like the Q9 drinks, they're quite pricey. Then you add on your 15%, and I think it's, 2 gin and tonics probably haven't got any change from $20, have you?
No.
The thing is that you said, though, just during the day, you start off with your coffee, you might have a Pepsi by the pool, you might not even have a proper cocktail, you might have just a mocktail, you might have some water because you've been to the gym, and you add all these little things, they add up. They do. Jim?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, it does add up.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at the time we're recording on this, both of us are going on Q9 to Queen Victoria in a few days. And we sat about a week ago and really debated whether we were going to get the drinks package.
Because it's more expensive for a mini cruise.
Yeah. It's they have sort of that dynamic pricing, don't they? If it's 5 days or less, it's this price and it's there. But then when we went through, we did what you guys just talked about then, where you go, right, well, we're definitely going to have probably a couple of coffees during the day and sit and chill. I'll probably get a juice. You might get one, you might not. We'll definitely get some water with the meal. We'll definitely have a glass of wine with the meal.
We'll definitely get a water to take back to our cabin at night.
And then just by the time we'd finished doing that bit, before we got on to any of the alcohol, we'd covered nearly 2/3 of the cost of the package.
Yeah.
So then you're like, well, of course we're going to have some other cocktails or something else during the day.
Yeah. One or two.
Yeah.
Yes.
I suspect we might not be quite as full on as on Virgins. But having said that, it's a package this time, not the bar tab, so who can say?
And I suppose, going back to what we were saying earlier on about there being annoyances with drinks packages, I kind of find it a bit annoying that, like, say you book or pay for your drinks package now before we go on, like, Queen Victoria, it's cheaper. Yeah, you go on the ship and you're being charged more just because you're doing it on the ship. And the frustration is for people who will have a lot of onboard credit, because they're thinking, well, I'll do it when I get on the ship, because they won't let them use that onboard credit until they're on board. So then they're sort of being conned. They're getting the onboard credit, but they're losing out on the benefit of it.
You're getting less onboard credit, really.
Yeah, because they're having to use more of it to pay for the drinks. But and another thing, like now as well, we've got Black Friday deals. So luckily, in our instance now, we can actually get a further discount on the drinks package because we were looking to book ours tonight.
Yes.
A job after
It
this.
was paying today, so we're gonna get the discount on top because it is slightly cheaper. So that's what we're aiming to do with like that one.
We've talked about this before about sort of onboard credit, and to be honest, we ain't got any onboard credit on this one anyway.
No.
So it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
But I don't get why all cruise lines don't let you spend it in advance. Because again, by the time you get on the ship, you might have spent all the onboard credit. That doesn't mean you're still not going to spend more money.
Exactly.
Whereas if you get on there and you've got onboard credit, you're looking at that first, and they go, "Oh, I don't really want to spend all over and above." Celebrity
and Royal Caribbean
will let you do it within the app in advance. You can book the drink package. You get the benefit of those discounts in advance as well. And then you get on the ship and you've no credit and you'll just spend more money. It's not stopping you spending when you get on there.
No.
And I just don't get why they don't all do that. I find it so bizarre.
Yeah.
Because that upsets people before they start, really. Doesn't it? It gives them a bad taste in the mouth. They just get a bit miffed from the word go, and then it makes them less likely, I'd say, to want to spend any more money because they're going to have a bit of a grudge. Well, I know I would if I had the onboard credit, and that's what I was intending on using it for.
Yeah. And one thing I would do is I would have a little pop-up bar that just serves water in an evening, because the amount of times and people just go to the bar to get water to take back to the cabin with them.
You mean like when you're getting off for an excursion, just have
a trolley? Like they do, like the excursion trolley, but a nighttime, sleepy time water station.
Yeah.
That you just go back to your room.
But I suppose that is one frustration though, really, because like with Virgin as a prime example, now they just provide water in your room every day, you get a fresh carafe, and I think that's why cruise lines just can't offer that. That's so basic. I mean, it doesn't have to be in a fancy bottle. That water's nice, it's fresh, it's nice, you know.
As long as it's not on the tap, happy.
Probably.
No, like from the sink in your...
Yeah.
No, it just tastes different when it's in those glass bottles for some reason.
But why water's on a package, really, on a ship? I just think it's dull.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
We will be carrying on water on the Queen Victoria cruise.
Yeah, but that's because we haven't got a carafe in our room like Virgin. So it's convenient for us, because there's nothing worse than when you wake up first thing in the morning, and it's almost like these cruise lines tease you. Because like we were saying, yes, you go into bed and you might get your last drink. And in fairness, the staff will sometimes say to you, you'll say, can I have water for the room? They're not going to say, oh, no, you've had your drink, you've got to wait 15 minutes. They won't do all of that. They will sometimes give you the water. But you get this little bottle, don't you? And you took it to your room, you wake up in the morning, your head's thumping, your mouth's as dry as I know what, you think, I need water. And that bottle's gone. And you think I could do with it a lot more. You always feel like, I feel like it's more of an issue with water than actual.
We always try and ask for the bigger bottle of water.
Yeah.
And
collect them throughout the day and put them in the fridge. But yeah, this time we'll bring it.
I'd say most times they will give you a larger bottle of water before going to bed. They might not do it in the day, but if you say you can have a large bottle of water before going to bed, they tend to kind of do that.
I've walked out of restaurants with it. I've ordered it, like one of the last things we've done in the restaurant, ordered a big bottle of water and then carried it out.
Just taking it up to the room.
Yeah.
Because we know it's easier than...
Yeah, to get it later on. Yeah. So, in conclusion...
Hey, is there any sort of tips that you would like to give anyone thinking about sort of getting a drinks package for the first time, or whether they're not sure of it? What?
For me, it's budgeting and peace of mind, that I don't feel I can try a new drink that I want to try. If I don't like it, then I don't like it.
Big things. I love doing it.
Yeah, I like doing that. And I think that's it. If you like to, to mix things up a bit, then, and you like to know that it's taken care of, then brilliant.
Yeah. The budgeting is a massive thing for me. And I'm with you. The number of new cocktails that we've tried, or drinks, that we wouldn't have tried normally.
No.
And then you're like, oh, this is one of my new favourite things now.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Any tips for anyone?
I'd say if you're thinking about the drinks package, try and find some recent menus.
Oh, yeah.
And work out what you drink, on the day, whether you're in port or not. If you've got a sea day, you can drink a bit more than you are when you're in port all day.
Yeah.
And that's what the advice we always give people. Look at what you drink on a normal day, work out your bill, and that's how you'll know whether a drinks package is good value for you. And if you are worried about a big bill at the end, go for the drinks package because it gets rid of that.
But definitely, because you were saying about looking at the menu, P&O, a prime example, what we're saying is about £10 difference between the classic and the deluxe, £10-15.
Yeah.
But we quickly work out when you get the deluxe, you're getting double gin, because you can get the more premium gin cocktails, can you?
Mm-hmm.
So we quickly worked out, and the large glasses of wine, for that small amount, we're getting double for our drinks package, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's what so looking at the menu does definitely pay off. And I definitely say paying for it in advance if you can before your cruise. Check obviously which cruise line you're staying with, but definitely with like Cunard and P&O, definitely book it in advance because it does save you before you get on board.
Yes.
I definitely recommend that.
Yeah.
And have a look if you've got any loyalty status with any of the cruise lines. Have a look, because sometimes you can get a discount off the drinks packages as well. But other times, for instance, on Royal, depending what level you're at, you'll get X many number of drinks per day included in there. So if you're only going to have maybe 4 alcoholic drinks and you're at Diamond level on Royal, then you're going to get 4 included anyway. So you can get them at any point from any bar.
Yeah, but you've got to have been cruising for a long time.
You've got to work out the maths. And as often people will do when they talk about drinks packages, go to a site like Cruise Mummy.
Yeah.
It's got an amazing calculator
yeah.
to figure out whether you're going to break even or be up on it.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised how quickly you go, oh, yeah, I don't need to be alcoholic or drink like a fish. Actually,
I think we worked out on one of ours before now. It was something like 4 or 5 alcoholic drinks, 3 4 bottles of water, cup of coffee, and you'd broken even.
Yeah. It's very easy to drink.
That's it.
The value.
Yeah, you don't have to be up. Breaking even's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like,
should we have a cruise confession? Should we have a cruise confession?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Well, this one I've been saving until we did this one.
Okay.
Because it's a cocktail-based confession.
Okay.
So, this is from Andrew.
Do we know Andrew?
It's a real name.
Okay.
I'm giving his surname away.
Okay.
Sometimes people give us the real names, and sometimes people ask me to change the name. This person's real name is Andrew.
Okay.
Lindsay and Mark, and special guests if you have any with you.
We do.
I have a cruise confession that involves a cocktail making competition.
Wow.
A healthy dose of competitive spirit.
Okay.
And a rather unfortunate misunderstanding of the word flair.
Okay.
You see, I've been watching the bartenders at the pool all week, mesmerised by their impressive cocktail shaking skills and gravity-defying bottle flips.
Mm-hmm.
Not on me when we're on.
Okay.
I was determined to give it a try myself, so when the cruise director announced a passenger cocktail making competition with 3 drinks as a prize, I jumped at the chance.
Okay.
I envisaged myself wowing the crowd with my mixology magic,
Nice.
shaking and stirring my way to victory. However, in my eagerness to impress, I may have taken the concept of flair a bit too far.
Okay.
Instead of simply shaking the cocktail shaker, I attempted a dramatic over-the-shoulder toss,
Uh-oh.
a la Tom Cruise in Cocktail. The result was less smooth opera, a more chaotic disaster.
Oh, dear.
The shaker slipped from my grasp, flew across the bar, and landed right in front of an innocent onlooking passenger.
Oh, dear.
The top of the shaker flew off and covered the passenger in my bright blue concoction, along with all the ice. The passenger let out a loud scream, and I have to confess I did too. After the initial few seconds of shock, the other onlookers burst into fits of laughter, and I wanted a hole to appear and swallow me up. The cruise director immediately jumped in and arranged for clothing to be cleaned free of charge.
Oh, my goodness.
Needless to say, I didn't win the competition.
No.
In fact, I was politely asked to step away from the bar area while they cleaned up. Please forgive my cocktail catastrophe. I promise to leave the fancy bartending to the professionals from now on and just concentrate on drinking the cocktails instead.
Yes.
So, what do you reckon? Are we going to forgive them?
I think so. I'm forgiving because I mean, it wasn't their fault that it was the cruise line that put the competition on. They didn't just decide to do it willy-nilly.
No. No, they didn't just suddenly start throwing a shaker around.
No.
And that person decided to sit near the front when it's amateurs throwing cocktails around. So if anything, I think it's the passengers.
But they cleaned up anyway. As they say, it come out on the wall.
I was thinking that as you were reading it out. I was thinking, if I went to a cocktail kind of competition, I probably wouldn't be sat at the bar. I'd probably be quite a distance away. You know, Andrew's obviously very
Definitely.
enthused and really got into it.
He was
Yes.
inspired by it. So, you know.
Yeah.
It's the fact they were bright blue.
Yeah, that
Wasn't
doesn't
just
help. But
added to it. We didn't get the detail on what colour top the passenger was wearing, but I like to think it was very blue afterward. So, are you guys going to forgive as well then?
Yeah, I very definitely.
yeah,
I think it's an easy fix.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a nice one to forgive.
Okay, let's have some cruise news stories.
Okay.
Okay, so I put this one in. It's not something that we would normally be interested in,
Okay.
but I'm fairly sure Gavin and Luke will have something to say on it.
Okay.
The cruise line Margaritaville at Sea,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily the fanciest of ones,
Mm-hmm.
but is making a step forward in the pet-friendly world by
Oh.
offering the first ever dog-friendly cruise coming in November next year. They're allowing 250 dogs to accompany their owners on board. The cruise will offer full schedules of activities, contests, and more for all canine cruisers and the travel companions. They've classed them as inaugural ambassadors, will enjoy costume contests, so doggy dress up, guest speakers, parades, dog shows, training advice, special gifts, and much more. Then on top of that, puppy massages, dog-friendly splash stations, grooming sessions are also on the schedule for the special voyage.
Oh.
Now, we don't have a dog,
No.
so I'm really curious to know what you guys think of that. Would you be tempted to go on that sort of cruise and take
Honey.
with you?
We've always said, why doesn't a cruise line allow dogs? It would be nice, but 250 of them, I mean, even the best behaved dogs don't always get on with each other. You get some really excitable dogs. Our biggest fear with our dog is she can really jump. She's got a bit of greyhound in her. She's some sort of mix. And if she sees something, she'll jump. So I'm always a bit conscious. If she saw a seagull flying past the railing of the ship, would she clear it?
I'd love to take her on the ship, but I think we'd be very worried about Honey.
Yeah.
But if you're going to have these little toy dogs, which I'm starting to imagine this might be,
Yes.
it'll be a bit different. It'll be quite nice.
Our old two dogs would have been totally fine. We wouldn't have even stressed. But she'd be hard with. You wouldn't be able to go to the buffet with it.
I also wonder how smelly it's going to be.
Oh.
I think they could.
And, well, you're going to have dogs kind of marking their territory constantly, aren't you?
Yeah.
Could get a bit yucky.
But then maybe they'll only be allowed in certain areas of the ship, and maybe those areas will have been prepared for it, so they'll make sure they're like easy to clean.
I don't know. I've seen a bit of the story, but I think it's the whole ship, isn't it? Or
Yeah, it is. It's the first thing that went through.
Yeah.
The first thing that went through my head is that's going to take a lot of cleaning of the cabins afterwards.
Yeah.
And like you say, you're not going to stop dogs being dogs. You know, if they need to go, they're going to cock the leg or squat, and you know, it's going to happen. And 250 of them is a lot. So I think I'll be really fascinated to see how this goes next year, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of coverage online about it. But
I'm sure it'll sell out as well. I bet that will sell really quick.
Yeah.
There's demand for that.
Thing is, they'll try it. They'll experiment with it. They'll work out what's working, what's not. Maybe you know, like we're seeing things like Yacht Club or the grills with Cunard. You might see like a perfect kind of doggy section of the ship, which is then catered just for that permanently, because that would make more sense than to allow free roaming. Because you're going to have people that might not necessarily like dogs, or like we said, there might be certain dogs that don't get on. You might think they do, but they might fight. I mean, they're not like people, really, aren't they? So,
what's the itinerary? Because I'm guessing it's probably I don't know what the rules would be over there, but
I don't even know if they published it yet. Oh, well, Margaritaville just normally does the
Bahamas, isn't
Bahamas and back, don't they? It's like a two-night thing, 3-night.
Yeah.
So in which case, I can't imagine that would be an issue because it's US
to US.
to US, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
you're right then.
Unless you have to start getting like doggy passports and things as well.
The best thing, if you went like, I think even like assistant dogs or guide dogs, I think they've got to have like passports to get off and stuff, and certain vaccinations and stuff.
They'll have to have vets on them soon as well as medical.
Yeah,
funny.
See, there's all these things.
Yeah.
The sort of directors, the directors on board at Margaritaville at sea will be like, we hadn't thought about that. We haven't thought about that. They're going to be taking notes afterwards and going, okay, we might need to reconsider this based on what Gavin and Luke have just said.
I was thinking how much money they could make off the vet fees. That'd be a bit of an earner for them.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Well, it'll be fascinating to see.
Yes.
A news story.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't have a week go by without there being a princess news story.
Okay.
And this is all about some princess and it doing a special holiday event one. Because we saw the advert the other day with Hannah Waddingham.
We did.
And you're like, okay, that was kind of cool. So on Some Princess, and I would guess if this is successful, they'll probably take this on to Star Princess when she comes out. They're going to have a series of unique events over and above what you would see on, for instance, Cunard or any of the other cruise lines where they just put the decorations up. So one of the first things that they go do on each of the festive cruises is you'll have a guest selected at random to light the tree in a tree lighting ceremony.
You would love that.
I would, yeah.
And the promise is going to be the largest tree ever to grace one of its ships.
Okay, big tree.
The piazza will also be the location of the Santa tracker.
Nice.
And I'm wondering if it's going to be that globe that we saw, where you can normally see where all the other ships are. So I'm guessing it's going to be that, where guests can follow Santa on Christmas Eve as he travels towards Some Princess.
Unless they're just going to put it on the big screens and use the NORAD one.
They might do, but he's then going to board the ship.
He is?
Yeah, on Christmas Eve and interact with the guests. And on top of that, the doing other entertainment includes Princess's Orchestra doing a jazz-era holiday tribute.
Oh, lovely.
A holly jolly sweater party.
Nice.
And a silent disco with all Christmas tunes in there.
Oh, God.
And from tying it into this one, they've done a series of unique Christmas cocktails, all of which are included in either the Plus or the Premium package. So I thought that was kind of cool. And can we imagine, if it's as successful as I'm sure it will be, other cruise lines doing similar? And what would you like to see the other cruise lines do?
It sounds awesome. It really, really does. I mean, I do like a Christmas or festive themed cruise.
You'd be in your element.
I would be. I'm sold. I'll be looking up for this when I'm finished.
Yeah, if they did that on Cunard this weekend and you could volunteer to switch the tree on.
I mean, Cunard do Christmas very well, though. I mean, we've only ever been on a Cunard ship, haven't we? Like for festive.
Yeah.
But they've always done it really, really well. I mean, last year when we were on Queen Victoria, they did have a choir when we went into the Queen's room on board and all the entertainment with like the violinists and all playing like Christmas carols, and the ship was all dressed, and they do like gingerbread villages and all that kind of thing. I wouldn't say they do any light turning on though or anything like that.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Santas before, like on I think some of the P&O Facebook groups. I've seen Santa on Christmas Eve by the funnel and all. They've had him up there waving and things for the kiddies. I've seen bits and bobs, but I mean, this does sound a cut above the others at the moment. It really does.
I wonder whether any fights will break out and who turns lights on, or will people get jealous? Arguing.
I'd love that.
It does sound awesome.
But I thought it was just like quite a cool thing. They're trying a lot of new stuff with Some Princess.
Yes.
And they're accepting that some of what they've tried doesn't work, and then they're changing it on the ship. I can imagine this works incredibly well. And then they roll it out across the fleet for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
And it becomes a sort of princess at Christmas kind of thing. And then we'll see others copying it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Being inspired by it.
Yeah.
Final
I think
news
we've
story.
seen it already this year, aren't we? Christmas decorations going to be going up earlier on the ships this year. They're all trying to out decorate each other. Try and get the Christmas market crowds in.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, but I'm also thinking what they're catering towards is more like hotels on land and shops and retail. It's all dressed round here, and you're also going to get your events. Like they do work parties, don't they? Some businesses will actually send their teams off for a Christmas mini cruise, especially like the one we're going on.
Yeah.
I think we've seen it last year, didn't we? We've seen a lot of those.
Wow.
So, I mean, for that, they want to theme it, don't they? It's only right to, really.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing it all dressed.
I know you are.
We haven't got, I know you guys have got all your decorations up already. We were like, right, we'll wait until the weekend that we come back off there, because
We'll be on
be in the
Christmas.
festive mood at that point.
See,
Yeah.
I didn't want to come home to do it. I thought, no, I'll do it now. So part of the excitement. And when I come home, Christmas has officially begun.
Oh,
I kind of like that logic as well.
yeah.
But it's still late now. We've promised that we're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't they
Okay.
say, isn't it called Happy what did they say? Happy Saturday or something? Saturday is this week.
Is it?
Saturday. It's the day everyone goes out and buys their Christmas tree and puts it up.
Oh.
It's actually got a term, like a name now. Saturday, I think.
When I went to the supermarket earlier today, there just hundreds of trees outside.
Love
Just
it.
like a forest.
Yeah.
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 I'd be interested to see how many of them when I go next week.
Yeah.
Right, final news story.
Okay.
There was an incident on Harmony of the Seas
Oh, dear.
recently, but not necessarily in the bad way, more in a kind of amusing, but probably not if you want it way.
Yeah.
Passengers enjoying the last night of a round-trip cruise to Honduras, Cozumel, Mexico,
Oh, nice.
Harmony of the Sea,
Yeah.
got a little bit of a jolt late in the evening
Mm-hmm.
when in the main restaurant and entertainment area, so
Yeah.
I'm assuming promenade type thing,
Yeah.
it just didn't say specifically, all the sprinklers suddenly went off
Oh, dear.
and sent people running for cover, like diving into the restaurants and everywhere, because it caused a proper indoor downpour. So eyewitness accounts, and there were apparently a lot on social media, said very quickly on there that this is a new upcharge attraction that creates a rainy Italian street, and you'll see this reflected in your room bill. And the had to stop all service in the restaurants and all the bars while all the crew dealt with it, because as you can imagine, there were water everywhere.
Oh, my goodness.
But it's on the last night of the cruise, so you probably already put
Oh, you
clothes away into your suitcase and put your suitcase out. So what you've got on is now soaked, and you've got your clothes for the following morning. I would
dear.
guess, or maybe you were just getting off on them.
Yeah.
So there's not been an official comment from Royal Caribbean on it, but it was believed that it was the smoke detectors that had picked up some burning from Sorrento's pizza, which, yeah, that's
I'm
about
surprised it hasn't
what
happened
triggered
before.
it. It has happened before.
Oh, no.
So when I was looking into it, I had that exact thing. I'm like, I can't believe that's never happened before. Yeah, it happened to
Oh, my
Caribbean a couple
God.
of years ago. So yeah, there's a lesson to be learned. Don't burn your pizzas.
And also keep a spare outfit in case you
Yeah.
get drowned.
Yeah.
This is why we never put our cases out right until the end of the night, you say?
Oh. We've started walking ours on
Yeah,
now.
a couple of cruises we walked off with them just so that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you end up having to start packing at sort of like 5, 6 o'clock in an evening, so you
Yeah.
can put it out before you go out for the evening. And you then starting thinking about getting off the ship halfway through your last
Yeah.
day. And it's like, forget it. I'll just pack when I get up in the morning and literally just
Yeah.
throw everything in there. And we've done that on the last 2 cruises, and we'll
Yeah.
probably do it on this one as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bit different if you need to be off really early and you got a flight and stuff. But if you can get away with it,
Wait, that's what I've been. It's the carpets. It's the carpets that get you.
or for wheeling the truck. Oh, no idea where you were going with that for a few seconds. Then. Why are the carpets in me?
You can. I'm going to shut.
Yeah, they make it harder a week.
Yeah, they do. They do. They do.
And they are nice carpets and cute, Dad.
Yeah.
They are. They are.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the
No.
end of the cruise cast.
Well, thank you, guys. I'm sure we've helped people when we've talked about drinks packages.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Or we've confused them, one of the two.
I'm confused
Yeah.
even more.
In summary, get a cruise drinks package or don't.
Oh, what
You do you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do, yeah.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We like them. Gavin and Luke like them.
Yeah.
Maybe you will. Maybe you won't.
Okay.
And with that, I will play us out with.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Here's some
Then
lovely
thank you
more
for having
memories.
us.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye.